Hello everyone. We had a little glitch there getting started.
You gotta laugh, actually. Julie, sometimes you just have to laugh at yourselves. Julie decided, let's do a live call today before we had actually ever used the software.
Anyway, it was a software I wasn't familiar with, so my bad. Sorry guys. But we were working on a video to get ready for tonight, and it wasn't going to be ready by 7, which is the time I usually like to have them ready by lately. And I just thought, rather than stress trying to get it finished, why don't we just jump on it and do it live with you? Because I've been wanting to try YouTube Live for a long time. And so hello from Montreal, Danielle. Thank you all so much for your patience and being late, but appreciate you being our YouTube Live guinea pigs. So there you go.
I'm just happy to see we're up and going now.
Yeah. So just want to give everyone a few minutes. Hi Lola, I'm glad you can see and hear us. You can see we're here in CC. Going to give a couple of minutes just for other people to join the call here because I'm waiting on another link, the one that didn't work. But here we've got people from Central Illinois, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I love seeing where everyone's from. Sydney, Australia. Daniel says the sound is good. That's great because this is just on my iPhone 7 Plus. Ended up being the better solution than the software I was trying to get working. But SoCal, Houston. I love seeing everyone from all over the place. This is fun. This is fun. And I love that we're going to get an opportunity to engage with you guys in real time.
Oh, and I see by the numbers, it looks like most of the folks we had on the other one are on the...
Great.
So...
And of course, you know, anyone that wasn't able to join us live can watch this later. We've got Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We've got the glamping guys. Hi, guys. And Ziggy watching us tonight. So we're just going to give a minute or two here for people to just join us before we dive into the content of the call. Hello, Karen from Metro Atlanta. Rick from Columbia, South Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah. And... okay, so we've got, yeah, it's good. We've got like nearly 30 on already. And so thank you. Oh, Northwest Kansas, Arkansas, sorry. Northwest Arkansas, New Jersey. Wow, you're all over.
All over the place.
We're here in Virginia for those of you that are just joining us. And
I did see someone in the chats earlier that they're looking forward to seeing us in Colorado at our book signing event tomorrow in Boulder,
no, it's
Colorado.
on Wednesday. We fly there tomorrow.
Oh, we fly tomorrow, right.
We fly there tomorrow. So we're currently in Virginia. We are tomorrow packing up the coach and heading to Pennsylvania. We are flying out of Philadelphia to Denver, Colorado. Staying in Broomfield, driving up to Boulder and doing a book signing event at on Wednesday, May 22nd at Boulder Bookstore, 7:30 p.m. So I hope to see anyone that might be in Colorado there, or let your friends know. But we've got a good number on the call. Thank you so much. And thank you again for hanging in there through our technical difficulties. This is one of the things when you're editing videos, you can edit out a lot of things you're not happy with and imperfections and things like that. And, you know, you don't get a chance to do that with live. So thank you for being patient with us. And we've got 40 people on the call. Awesome. I consider that a success, and we haven't even started. So what we want to talk to you guys about today is the video that we planned on doing, and we decided to go live with it because I think this also encourages more engagement and answering some questions around what we've been doing. We did something really different that we haven't really done before for any particular length of time. We've been on the road for almost 5 years, and next month will be 5 years. Full-time RVing. And for those of you, I don't know how long many of you have been following us or with us, but Marc had a job when we first hit the road for the first 3 years or so.
For the first 3 years, yeah. And predominantly, all of our travel is booked out well in advance, usually a few months in advance. And we liked having that stability, especially when I had my regular job.
Because it was really important for us to get settled into a campground by a Sunday night and know that we had connectivity, we had internet, that we were comfortable and settled in for the week ahead, for the work. And usually we used to travel on weekends, mostly, so we could be settled in, and we'd usually drive on a Saturday so that if there were any problems with connectivity, that we could change our plans and go somewhere else on the Sunday. We had a couple of those campgrounds that we stayed at that weren't good for work. Ramon, why? You probably already covered it. Why did you leave that beautiful new RV for the older one? This is even more beautiful to us, Ramon. But we've done lots of content on that. We can get to that a bit later if that's okay. But I just want to keep going with this topic of planning our travels. And so Marc quit his job 2 years ago, as many of you know, and we've been doing RVLove full time since then. And so that's given us more flexibility with our schedule and with our travels. And so, and I think in addition to that, we just felt a lot more comfortable and confident and experienced as RVers to be able to wing it and roll with it. And we haven't really done it until last month.
We're definitely more free with our travel than we were when I had my regular job, because I'd be very planned for that. But yes, we've been getting more and more free and unplanned with our travels as we've gone along. And
we know that a lot of you out there don't plan any travels and don't like to make reservations. That's part of the fun of the adventure. And everyone's got different ways of traveling, you know. I mean, some people are planners, some people just like to be completely freewheeling with it. I would say we tend to be more planners, obviously, as we just described, but we're wanting to free it up a bit more. But it's the work schedule. It's the fact that we work that is what I think slows us down. We're more productive when we're in one place for a longer period of time. And so that's what's been working for us. I mean, I know it looks like it to a lot of you that we're just out driving around and having fun and going to national parks and just traveling all the time, but we really do a lot of work behind the scenes. And you know, us along with any of the other YouTubers or bloggers that you follow, content creators, it's a lot of work creating this, and we love doing it, but it does take a lot of time. And so being able to have a more stable environment and connectivity, of course, allows us to do that. So we had been in Florida for, 4 months?
4 months, yeah. The whole winter all in one state, which is actually the longest period of time we've spent in one state in all of our travels, I believe.
And a good portion of that was planned out because, it's Florida in the winter. And so we arrived in December and left at the beginning of April. And the majority of that time we spent in Thousand Trails and campgrounds through our Thousand Trails camping membership, which you've probably heard us talk about many times. So it saves us a ton of money on travel. We've not going to go into that in detail here. We've got a ton of blog posts where we go into all of that. But we decided that we knew we had to be up in Chesapeake Bay by, I think we had a reservation starting May 1st.
May 1st, yeah.
And then on April 8th, we thought, let's just spend the next month and just make our way to the East Coast, to Virginia, but not plan anything on the way.
Well, I think part of it too is because we hear a lot of people have concerns that, the campgrounds are also full, you have to have everything booked. We know people who book second and third redundancies, at least have them ready to go if there's a challenge. But we hear people concerned that you can't find campgrounds. And so we have a 40-foot coach, we have an older coach, and so we just thought, let's just try and wing it. Let's just totally go unplanned for the next 4 to 6 weeks. See how it goes and actually have some fun with it. Just let the road take us where it goes and let our bookings just happen where they may.
I'm sorry, I just got distracted by a question from Rick Kessler of RV Business. He wants to know who's going to play me in the movie based on our book. And I'm going to go with Meg Ryan, Rick. Or maybe I should go with someone younger. I don't know. Sorry.
I don't know.
It just distracted me. It just cracked me up.
Yeah.
Sorry, hon, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. So
see, if this was a video, I'd probably edit this out.
And but we had a good time with that. It was really fun to be totally loose, and there were some pros and cons to it. You know, there were some a little less productive with our work.
We can get to the pros and cons at the end, I think. Let's we're talking about why we decided to do it, what our experience is like, where we stayed, how long we stayed, what it cost, what memberships we used, because we actually have a whole arsenal of camping memberships, and a lot of them we don't use very often, and we decided let's use them. So let's talk a bit about that, and then we can finish up with pros and cons. How does that sound?
Sure.
Yeah? I don't know. How does that sound? Scott says, Cece looks amazing. Sorry, guys, I'm missing some of the questions. So let's, I'll try and catch up with them a little bit more as we go. But so
if you want to talk about where we started, so around April 8th, we had an appointment in Mobile, Alabama to get the annual service done on the coach.
Right. So the reason we chose it, though, is we could have got that done at any Cummins shop. But our friends Carl and Olivia from Driving a Vibe are in Mobile, and it was only a couple of hours west. And we thought, well, as RVers, it's nothing to drive a couple of hours out of your way to go and visit friends.
Yeah, we have some close friends who drive 4 and 5 hours to come visit. But
so what happened is we decided to book the coach in at the Cummins Inn at Mobile so that we could tie that in with the visit with Kyle and Olivia. And they're almost finished their Airstream. Hopefully you're watching their channel too. And we also got to go and see the Blue Angels. If anyone's done the Blue Angels, seen the flyover in Pensacola. So I'd been wanting to do that since the last time we were in the area, like 3 years. So we planned that coach service around our desires to see the Blue Angels, go see that part of the country, and visit our friends.
Yeah, it was really fantastic. And so that first night in the Cummins shop, we just stayed in their parking lot, which was boondocking, which was free except for the $600.
It was a free night, except for the $600.
But that was just one night. But it was nice to be able to have battery power to very comfortably go for a night. And
right, so that was boondocking. And if you don't already know, you might have seen episode 5 of our RV makeover. We've got 600 amp hours of battle-borne lithium batteries. We have 1,020 watts of solar on the roof, so we're really, really well powered up. Hi Brenda from Austin. We're really well equipped for off-grid, and our tanks are big on CC.
Yeah, certainly no problem for one night. We have 100 gallons of fresh water and 130 gallons of wastewater capacity, so we can go quite a while with that.
So that was the first night, and then the
second night we went into an escapees park in Summerdale, Alabama, and that's where we really connected. Did the Pensacola stuff with the Blue Angels, and we did the Kyle and Olivia because we were there for almost 9 or 10 days.
9 days. Yeah. So we originally had meant to spend about 3 days there, so we could visit Kyle and Olivia, go and check out their Airstream, and go and see the Blue Angels. But then we were having such a great time. Kyle and Olivia introduced us to the local bookstore there in Fairhope, Alabama. They organised us a book signing, so we went and did this really impromptu book signing event there. And there are actually, if you are in the area, there are actually autographed copies of our book there at the Fairhope bookstore, which is awesome. Had a great time.
Page and Palette or something like that?
Yes, Page and Palette, that's right, in downtown Fairhope, Alabama. And then we just were having such a nice time in this cute town that we just kept extending our stay.
Right, and again, we originally booked it for 3 and then stayed for 9.
We stayed for 9, and then that's something we wouldn't have done before because we would have had another reservation on the back end to move on to, but because we didn't, we just thought, well, we'll stay because we can. Hi, Michelle. I'm glad you love the book. She's read it twice. Awesome. Glad you're still getting things out of it. But so that was a really great experience. We went and saw the Blue Angels, which was incredible, and if you haven't done that, would highly recommend it. Going to see that in Pensacola, doing the flyover.
Yeah, Dawn is actually one who recommended that to us.
Don Rimmel, exactly. And if you're watching,
so you can go there, watch them practice for free, and then you can also get free admission into the museum as well. Right.
So Penny's asking if we can refresh the original link or something because people are all right. Thanks for your patience with us, guys.
But so after we were there for 9 days, and because we were Escapees members, we stayed in the Escapees Park. It was the Rainbow Plantation, I think it was called, and we had a discount because we're members there, and stayed for a week, which got us a discount. But after that, we decided to head up to Georgia and do some driveway surfing, which was another unique thing we had not done before. We haven't done any driveway surfing with our coaches.
Right.
And so that was fun. Our friends happen to be a Boondockers Welcome host, but we actually just stayed longer because we were just friends visiting.
Yeah, we got to spend Easter with them, so so that was great. And so that didn't cost us anything, and the Boondockers Welcome membership is $30 for a year for Boondockers Welcome. So it was really great for us to have a chance to finally use that because I don't think we'd used that before, had we?
Yeah, I don't think so.
We've been members for the first time we used it. So so that worked out great. We've got quite a few questions here. I'm wondering if we should zip in and answer a few questions for a minute, or keep going with this. So we did the driveway surfing, but just if we're going to put links to these down below of all the different memberships that we have and that we used in this because it definitely saved us money. I mean, we're not going to count in what we share in this video. We can share what we saved as all of the memberships from what we did, but when we're not factoring in the cost of the memberships because that's something that we have for the whole year. You know what I mean? But
Sure, we can answer the questions though, like you said.
Yeah, I'll get to the questions. You can talk about Walmart for a minute, and then we'll get into the next one after that while I'm answering a few questions here.
So 10 days at our friend's house, boondocking in their driveway, and then we decided, let's do a little more boondocking, because we left a little late in the afternoon. We knew we couldn't get super far. We wanted to avoid Atlanta traffic, but again, with all that flexibility, not having reservations, we just decided to go to Walmart up in Rome, Georgia, and that was actually a really nice Walmart. Had a big grassy embankment on the edge of the parking lot, so we could have a little more peaceful than some. Sometimes Walmarts are a little busy and there's a lot of truck traffic and get crowded, but this one was actually a really nice stay. Just there for one night, and then we jumped into the Harvest Hosts properties.
We did jump into Harvest Hosts, and
Walmart's it's technically free, but when you spend, do all your shopping there, but you want to do shopping anyway, so it still ends up being free depending on how you look at it. But then we went to Harvest Host and actually hadn't been using the Harvest Host much in a while, and it was really exciting to be able to get to use that. And we went to 2 different wineries up in Tennessee, Tennessee Valley Winery and also Pleasant Hill Winery and Wedding Property. So.
Yeah, that was 2 very different properties. The Tennessee Valley Winery was a little tricky to get into. Was up quite a steep driveway, and when Mark got up there, he's like, "Well, we're going to get in here," but he obviously had to unhook the Jeep, and then you reversed in, but that took a little bit of skill.
That's why it's good, with Harvest Host, you want to call ahead and be able to get permission to be able to come, first of all, but it's also good to be able to double check, because we had done some reviews on it, and it said that you could drive around and not needing to back. When we got there was something blocking that, and so actually needed to disconnect and get a little fancy driving to back that out of there. And so it's always good to call in advance to get permission, but you also want to be able to make sure that all your information is current. Your access.
And a lot of them, because often they're in the country, being, wineries or sometimes organic farms. I don't know how many of you are already, Harvest Host members or have used it, or if you haven't, you've already probably heard about it. They're wonderful experiences that, sorry, I got distracted by a question, for being able to have really unique stays, different to a regular campground. You need to have you have to be self-contained RV, so you don't go expecting to get hookups or anything like that, and don't ask for that. But we've had woken up really quiet among the vineyards. We've had experiences. We've been, I think, to quite a couple in California,
we've been to a few,
but not really that many, considering we've been members for quite a few years. Harvest Hosts are great, says Leisure Travelux. Yes, and if they actually have a sale on at the moment, it's $79 for the year, guys. So if it's something you're interested in, you've been thinking about, if you use our code RVLove at harvesthost.com, you'll save 15% on your membership. So they're having a sale at the moment. So if you've been thinking about it, just use that code and save yourself 15%. But that was really great. The second one was only about half an hour down the road. And it was much easier to access, had really big space, big grass area.
Yeah, because that's a larger venue. The first one was a small winery, and the second one was a larger winery and had a huge property that regularly host weddings with hundreds of people, and so they're used to larger crowds. But again, another reason why you want to call in advance, because we would not have been able to go there the day prior because of the big wedding event. Thanks for all you guys doing watching. Okay. Just seeing these questions come through. And,
I know there's so many questions, which is awesome. We're trying to get through a lot of information and at the same time.
Yeah, you mentioned you wanted to do some questions, but if you want me to just keep talking through our travels, but
let's stop for a minute and maybe answer some of these questions that we've had.
Sure.
It's really great to see everyone from all around here. There's some people that were waiting for the original one that was a bit of a tech fail. Blame me for that.
That happens. It's real, right? Okay, so those... Gosh, now it's still spinning. So this is why you do videos and edit them, because you can... because you don't have to deal with all of this stuff. Right. So well, while you're trying to still figure that out, we'll get to those questions in just a minute once Julie figures out how to do more information with the questions. But I'm seeing quite a few comments from folks who also have enjoyed their Harvest Host experiences. It's what's really great about it. Some people originally got into it because they think it's going to be a money-saving proposition, but it's really about the experiences, not so much about saving money. It's because it's so much more exciting to go to an organic farm or go to a winery and you buy a bottle of wine.
Support those local businesses.
Yeah, and you buy some wine and buy some cheese and have
do
a nice
some,
time.
Produce. We've stayed at farms. Some of them are at museums. Those kinds of places. So, and now they have golf clubs you could stay at too. We haven't stayed at any of the golf clubs. We're not golfers, although we did.
We did play golf once this winter, though.
Once this winter, we did.
We had a
we
fun
did
time.
play it.
Julie calls it hit and giggle because that's about what happens.
That's what I call tennis as well.
That is what
and
you
pickleball.
Call it. Yeah.
Anything that involves hitting a ball, I call hit and giggle.
There you go. So while Julie's figuring out questions, we'll move on a little bit more in the travel. So, continuing on our little free, unplanned travel, we then left those Harvest Hosts and realized we were not getting a lot of work done, so we needed to settle in a little bit more. And we went. And we had reached out to our audience with Facebook and asked them for advice on places to go see in Tennessee. We got a lot of responses from folks saying to go to the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. And so we decided to head over there. And just last minute, same day, we found a campground that had availability, and we were able to use our Passport America membership, which saved us 50% on the nightly fee, because it was normally like $46 and it was $23 a night. Originally booked it for, I think, two nights, and then just
went to
extended
3,
it
then went to 5. And that's a really busy area, being near Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It's very popular, and so the campgrounds, you probably, those of you that already are RVing will find this, that of course the campgrounds, understandably near popular attractions and national parks, tend to be more expensive because they're in demand. But so we stayed a few miles out at Pigeon Forge. It was like 5 miles or 10 minutes. It was really not far at all. We like to drive anyway in the Jeep and the RV, but we don't mind that little bit extra to save the money, because it was $23 a night, as Marc said. And that campground was pretty good. It was called Eagle's Nest Campground.
Yeah, it was all right.
I think there are a lot of permanents there. And but I think at the back section, where it's quite leafy and foresty at the back, I think it would be really pretty down there. But the people were really nice,
because we were going to be either out exploring or we were going to be working. So it's not like we were hanging out at the site, really immersing in the campground. Anyways, we
did a lot of driving.
Yeah.
A lot of driving. There were a lot of, we made a promise to ourselves. Those of you that have been following us for a while know that we had a really crazy busy year last year, and we took a week off between Christmas and New Year and promised ourselves that this year we're going to do a lot more driving, because we love road trips and love exploring beautiful roads, and so there are some really cool drives in that area. We did the Tail of the Dragon, which is 118 curves over 11. 318 curves over 11 miles. Yeah, it's a motorcyclist paradise.
Yeah, it's wonderful for motorcyclists and for driving enthusiasts. Don't take anything over 30 feet long on that road, because it's not only difficult to navigate, it's also very dangerous for other people if you try and take something.
Joe's done it on his motorcycle.
Yeah, baby, he says.
Yeah, it's an awesome drive. But also a little bit, if you get car sick, there are a lot of twists and turns. It's a little bit, for me, it was a beautiful drive, but I can see how easily it could be for something to go wrong, especially if you're on a motorcycle or if you're being reckless.
If you're pushing the envelope. But it's really cool. It's really fun. Very exhilarating drive.
It was beautiful.
Ride. But and there's a lot of great drives in that area. Period. The Parkway in the national park right there is fantastic as well. Yeah,
the Foothills Parkway, and there was another one that a lot of you may or may not have heard of. It's called the Roaring Forks Motor Nature Trail. Is that right? And it used to be, what did they mostly, wasn't it, like carts, wagons? It was a wagon trail, it's paved. And here we go thinking, it's a trail that used to be for wagons, and the picture in the brochure, we thought, this will be a good jeeping trail, but really it's just paved and inside the national park. Yeah. Very narrow. I think it would be really narrow for a dually. I think it would be hard to get a dually around there without scratching it up.
But we took our Jeep and it was fun. It's like a 5 to 10 mile an hour drive. It's super narrow and tight one-way road, but it's really surrounded by a lot of forest, and that was actually a really fun highlight for us in the driving in that area. Even though it was low speed, it was really fun. But again, tight, so I wouldn't take an RV, and might want to think twice about taking a dually truck.
Yeah.
But then we also went up to Clingman's Dome up there. That was cool.
It was a clear day. Marc walked the Appalachian Trail for about
for about 50 yards.
about 50 feet. About 50 feet. So here I'm just trying to.
She's trying to figure out the questions. So, but yeah, that was actually, we had a nice time in that area, and it was fun to go do some exploring, take a couple days off.
Yeah, we drove a lot, and actually while we were there, so here's another thing: is RV is like, you know, you don't mind. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but we don't mind driving 2 hours just to go for dinner if it's somewhere really cool, or drive a couple of hours to go visit somebody. And there was a place that we wanted to visit that was in Kentucky, actually. So it was about a 2.5 hour drive, wasn't it, each way? And it was a place called Vizone in East Bernard County or something. And what it is, it's an RV salvage yard. I don't know if any of you have been to one of those, but we'd been recommended that. Honestly, it's a place where motorhomes go to die. Literally, they have about 1,400 motorhomes, mostly Class A's, that once they've, you know, either, this is not just been to scare you or anything, but, you know, something happens to vehicles, all have an end of their life eventually. Sometimes they're just old and worn out. Sometimes they've had a fire or been written off or had a, you know, an accident of some kind. And so, but they're actually good to go to the salvage yards if you're looking for parts on your RV, especially if they're hard to find parts, or parts that aren't being manufactured anymore, or less expensive than new. I wouldn't say they're super cheap at all, but we were looking for a basement door on CC, and they didn't have what we were looking for, but they usually do their orders online, but we managed to get permission from the staff to get a sort of, they took us around, and it was really interesting, very sobering. I think we'll put a video together on that. Would you guys be interested in seeing a video on an RV salvage yard? Because it really was quite fascinating. Marc got some great footage with the drone, and just seeing what happens. And again, not to alarm anybody, but just to show you what happens to these things when they've reached the end of their life. Some of their lives aren't very long, but it's really cool and interesting to see. But we did that. We were in Pigeon Forge. What else? We didn't really go to Dollywood or anything like that.
No, we didn't do any of the
touristy stuff.
Mostly just the national
Michael
parks.
and Amy saying yes on the salvage yard. Frida, yes on the salvage yard. It was really interesting. So good. There's a lot of interest in it. This is actually, you know, as I said, guys, this is our first YouTube live. So thank you for joining us and being here. We've got 138 live on the call now, despite a little technical snafus, so thank you. But this is also, I think, a really good way to not only just connect and engage with you, but get your feedback on what kind of content that you would like. Before we go and put all the time into editing the videos, you know, we want to do more drive videos too. I mean, do you want to see photos of driving and the different road trips that we have done? Because we have been capturing footage of that. The travel adventure videos take more time to put together, so we haven't had a chance to do those yet. But everyone wants to see the salvage yard.
Oh my God! Right. I just saw, while you were talking, I saw probably 20 go through there. There's a ton of people interested in
Thanks
that.
for that feedback.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great. We'll do that. It's really educational and really interesting. So
there were a couple other questions between those two. One was, does Julie drive? No, not in this coach.
I drove it in Palm Beach Motor Coach Resort.
She did. You're right.
Around the perimeter inside the RV park.
Campground under supervision. And then there was a couple. I've seen a couple people talk about the magnetic paint. You might be asking about this behind us, how those little letters on the wall. That is, it is magnetic primer that we put chalkboard paint over. It's not super strong. You can't put a heavy magnet on it, but if you put a light magnet, it will have enough to stick. So there's a couple questions in between all the comments about the salvage yard being exciting.
Right, so what if...
And wooden spoon practicing. Joe wants to see wooden spoon practice.
Oh, yes. Yep. I was playing the spoons at a restaurant in Sanford, Florida, when we had a meetup with Technomadia, and it was so fun. It was fun. That was fun. Have you done this video on solar from start to finish? Well, no, because we didn't do an install video. We, at the very beginning of episode 5 of our RV makeover, you'll see a really fast snippets of the install.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we haven't done that. That's not what we won't be doing an install video.
No, because we had a big team helping with that, and
they have done install videos. Gary Quimby from Powhana Travels was awesome leading the team on that. Justin Ford opting out of normal was a great help on that as well, and they've both done content on that. And so there's a lot of content out there on how to do the solar installs, and so we wanted ours to be really focused more about what you can do with it and the actual lifestyle aspect of it.
More lifestyle focused on ours. Yeah. So do you want to go jumping into the questions before we finish off our unplanned travel stuff?
I'm checking to see. A lot of people were just like chatting amongst themselves, or all. Yeah. You guys were so
keep
patient and understanding.
Thank you. And I'll talk about the rest of this travel stuff. So after we left the Pigeon Forge area, we went to go visit some friends in North Carolina, near Asheville, North Carolina. But instead of staying in Asheville, which can be a lot more expensive, we chose to stay in the town right next to it called Hendersonville. Yep. Found a really cute little campground called Red Gate. It was only 19
That was
campsites.
A really cute. That's one of the cutest RV parks I've
It was lovely, and the staff there were
really
fantastic.
Nice.
So welcoming. We really enjoyed that. We were only there for a couple of days, but we were because we were there to just visit a couple of our good friends. One, a friend of mine that I've known a long time, and then also our friends Mitch and Val from RV Lucky or What, who we had gone to their wedding
Key West in March.
Yeah.
So again, we didn't know that we were all going to be in the Asheville area at the same time, and we got to catch up for dinner. So that's great. But that was a Passport America park. It's $45 for 2 nights there. And a really great little location. I would love to spend more time there. But we did actually have one commitment that was happening on the fly when we were in Tampa at the Super Show in January. We met the folks from Magnashade, and we've had a Magnashade on our wish list for a long time. And so we ended up ordering one, and we'll be doing a separate video on that. But if you're not familiar with it, they're covers that cover the front of your windshield to block out the sun and the heat, but you can put them up. They have magnets, so it's very easy to put them on.
Yeah, it's super easy because they just slide up. Where normally you'll see people with external ones that have to snap on, and either people have to climb up on a ladder or they hang over the top of the roof like I have, and Dawn saw me almost fall off the roof of our ones.
It's a little precarious.
It can be a little precarious, and so that's why the Magnashades are really popular, is because they're so easy and really nice, clean look. So.
Yeah. So we'll be sharing more about that in another video. But they take about 5 weeks, and we'd ordered it about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So we called them and said, "Hey guys, we just realized we're going to be driving right through Mocksville on our way from Asheville area to Chesapeake Bay RV Resort. Any chance our shade might be ready?" And workplace says that they look nice but are crazy expensive. They are definitely not inexpensive, but having learned and seen what's involved in the manufacturing process and what's involved, what goes into them, we understand more. Well, you got some footage of that whole process.
Yeah, we did. We took some footage of how they make them. It's a very superior product to any other window shade I've seen. It's very nice, and it makes it looks nicer, and it's so much easier and safer to put up. I'm a big fan now that I've got one. So
we'll do a separate video on that. But but then we stayed there again overnight in the parking lot. Just stayed for the night there, and then we headed to Chesapeake Bay RV Resort, which is 1,000 Trails. I noticed Eddie, I think it was asking about.
Well, it's interesting because we originally were supposed to be there on May 1st, but we actually, because of all of our little extensions and playing around, we actually ended up kicking that reservation back a week. Showed up on the 8th, but we knew we needed to get there by the 8th because we had a book signing event there at Chesapeake
on the
Bay
11th
as well.
So then that's what we'll often do with our 1,000 Trails reservations too. I do love that. I can book them online, and now I'll move them around quite a bit, and usually I book more than the amount of time I think we want to be there, and then that way it gives me a bit of a bit of a wiggle room if we're going to arrive later or leave a bit earlier, and so I'm always moving things around there. But Betty says your makeover videos made a lot of people think about refreshing their rigs. Good. That's great. That was what we did it for us, but we wanted to share it with you to inspire you what's possible as well. So but
it was good to get back into 1,000 Trails to, because we were excited about saving 50% on our Passport Americas, but it was especially nice to get back in to have no nightly fee. Right.
And for anyone that's not familiar with that, hey, what is your names? Okay, Lisa and Son must be new here. We're Julie and Marc from RVLove. Welcome. Welcome. We've been full-time RVing for almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years.
And so back to the Thousand Trails. So we have a Thousand Trails camping membership that we bought 5 years ago. We started with the Zone Pass. I'm not going to go into detail on that here. If you Google RVLove Thousand Trails, you'll find out all our articles will come up about that. And there's one about the Zone Pass that we started with, which is a really low cost way to get started in the Thousand Trails camping network, less than $500 for the year. And you can camp for free up to 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah, we've got tons of information on the blog, RVLove.com.
So. We ended up upgrading our membership later that year to what's called an elite, and so that gives us up to 21 days we could stay for free in the camping system, and that's what we do. We've been really live for 34 minutes. My God, time flies when you're going live. Yeah. So anyway, let's wrap up that so we can get to some more questions. But we stayed at Thousand Trails. That was really great. We had a full house at our event on May 11th. So thank you if any of you guys came along to that. Thank you for joining us. It was awesome. We had a great time. And it's a really nice area. We got to see Williamsburg. It was a bit of a rainy day, but we got to explore that. We did quite a bit of driving.
Williamsburg. Saw some of the love signs. Cruised around. We had a nice time there, and visited friends there as well.
Yeah.
It's funny, after you've been on the road for a few years, you end up having friends all around the country.
We do. That's what we love about it, actually. But anyway, our 8 nights that we stayed at Thousand Trails, that was free. And when I say free, that was because we have membership that we pay for. So we bought the membership 5 years ago. So that's already paid for itself in spades. We've spent over 700 nights in the Thousand Trails camping network since we've joined.
Yeah.
Saved us tens of thousands of dollars, I would say. And then so it's really all these, if I'm looking distracted, and it's because I'm seeing all the questions popping up and not wanting to lose my stream of thought on
and you're
the
right
topic.
We do have friends all around the world. Yes,
we do have friends all around the world. And so so it was free, and then we pay annual dues of a bit over $500 a year. And so, you know, aside from that, once you get there to the campground, you don't pay anything. So we're going to put some links down below when this call is done, so you can go check it out if you want to learn more. But yeah, then we after that brought us to where we are here now. We wanted to come to Washington DC, and we had previously stayed at a campground called Cherry Hill, which is really nice, and it's actually in Maryland, and it's easy to get the metro into the city. But it's a little bit spendy. It's $75 a night. And we just thought, it's very cheap sometimes. I don't want to spend that. And we wanted a different experience. We like staying in different places sometimes. And I found this place on Allstay's app. And so it's called Lake Fairfax Park in Reston, Virginia. It's a lovely city park. It was about $45 a night, whether it's a weekday or weekends, a little bit more on the weekends. Really big sites, very green. It's not crowded at all. There's actually a big water park here in the, and so
great in the summer.
We're going to do reviews on that coming up. Marc's got a big long list of campground reviews that we need to get up, so he's got to get caught up on that. But that's cost us $240 for those 5 nights. So in total, we've spent 45 days just winging it. 45 days traveling unplanned. We've spent, I'm not counting camping memberships here, guys, because that's just something we have that is just ongoing. But we spent in the last 6 weeks $627 on camping fees. That does not include what we spent at Walmart. That does not include buying wine and cheese at the Harvest Host, because that's entertainment for us. It also doesn't include the $600 for the service on the coach.
Right.
So it's literally what we paid for camping fees, and that included. So we stayed in 20 campgrounds. Were 29 nights of that. Boondocking was 16 nights, so a total of 45 nights. So we spent about a third boondocking, and that's where we're able to really appreciate our off-grid setup with our lithium batteries and our solar, and then 29 nights in campgrounds.
People are asking again about the questions. You've been holding the questions.
Okay, but the whole topic of this video was planning our travels, and I wanted to wrap that up. So, and those people that are going to come later that aren't joining us live, it might be a little confusing for them to come and. Guys, we are learning. This is the first time we've done a YouTube live, so please forgive any errors, imperfections. This is real life.
With that, let's get into the questions.
Yeah, but anyway, hope that was helpful. That unplanning content, that information, sharing that. But we weren't going to cover the pros and cons, by the way. So this was
There was another question about if there's anything we would have changed with our remodel after living with it, and no, not that I can think of.
Give ourselves more time to do it.
We would have, the process of doing the renovation we would have changed by having more time, but the actual renovation, been super happy with it and wouldn't have changed.
I don't think anything I would do differently. I
love it all. Anything.
Love it all. Really happy with it.
And we've had it for about 9 months, so plenty of time to have some second thoughts on it.
Yeah, just the timing. It was a really intense schedule. It was a lot of hard work. And thank you, Neva. Oh, everyone's being so nice. Look at this. Lisa says, hey guys, do you have any mods in your chat? I'm sorry, I don't understand that question.
Any mods in our chat? I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Lisa and Son, if you can explain that better. Like I said, this is our first YouTube live, so thank you all for your patience, and especially with our little early glitches, and just being here. So you know what, so as we're at 40 minutes, it's going to be a long video, so we'll try and get through these. Everyone's loving the Salvage Yard. Awesome. We answered those questions. Frida says she likes the Fix It videos.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people who said that they really liked the live streams. This is the first time we've done it, so it's kind of fun. Oh, there's someone who's met us at the Palm Beach Motor Coach.
Who was that?
Really great. It's too fast. I can't really.
So what happens, guys, if you've never done a YouTube Live, which probably many of you haven't, it pops up on the screen, it flashes up on the left, and then it fades away after a few seconds. Okay. All right. Thank you, Joe, for that. I appreciate that. Amy says, I'm with you, Julie. I drove ours like 10 feet. I'm good to drive the Jeep. Me too. Blue Ridge Parkway, Joe's recommended. Yeah, guys, so we are going to be coming back to Virginia when we return from Colorado and explore the area some more. So if you have any suggestions around the area of things you want to see, things you want us to see and, you know, drive around and visit, we're going to be visiting a lot of the love signs, because I don't know if you know this, but the tagline for the state of Virginia is for lovers. So we love that, being RVLove.
Such a great fit.
And they have love signs. They're art installations all around the state. There's like, I think nearly 150 of them, and we've already visited quite a few, and we're going to be seeing some more. So somebody here says you get what you pay for, and that was in relation to the Magnashades. And that is true. Actually, when we were at the Magnashade factory, really nice people. This is a family business. They've been going. They started in the recession back in 2009. And so anyway, sorry, again, these chat things are distracting
me. Yeah, I mean,
me.
you're getting distracted.
But I'm just answering the question about the Magnashades, is that they told us that people said, I can make them myself, and then after they've come in and said, I totally wish that I just bought them at the beginning and bit the bullet, because they've been such a great addition to the coach, and how much hard work they were, and they didn't turn out as well.
And just be aware that if you want them, don't think you're going to get them the next day. It takes 5-6 weeks to produce them.
Yeah. So. Yeah. We also got some tire covers that they make, which is awesome.
They are awesome.
We really like them. So another one saying you get what is it? The saying goes, cry once when you pay for rather than every day after. That's true.
That is very good.
You know, you put things on your credit card, and at the time, one thing that springs to mind is when we flew in a helicopter over the Grand Canyon, the South Rim, for the first time, and that was like, ouch, it was $260 each. And to this day, it is one of my favorite experiences since we've been on the road. It was fantastic. And so I remember that experience and the joy and amazement of that more than I remember that credit card bill.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do a far faster answers, honey, because there's like 100 plus questions, and we're already 40 minutes in.
Okay, so. Larry, we're not planning to replace the tyres on CC because we replaced them the very day we bought it, so they're only a year old.
Literally the first day we bought it.
Yeah, you might want to go and watch some of our early videos of CC. Any meetups planned this summer? Cindy, we have a book signing in Boulder on Wednesday, May 22nd, Boulder, Colorado, and we also have one in Keene, New Hampshire, at the Toadstool Bookstore in New Hampshire, and then we've got some others that we're talking about. But okay, we're near a lot of battlefields. Yes, haven't been to any of those yet. What else? Colonial Beach in Virginia is really nice. Thank you for the tip. And yes, it was snowing in Colorado today.
Tornadoes in Texas and Oklahoma, snowing in Colorado, but gorgeous here in Virginia. It was high in the mid-80s, so it's beautiful.
You guys have such nice comments. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. We really appreciate it. I was a bit nervous doing a live, actually. Isn't that funny? It's not like I'm having trouble talking.
No.
But I don't know, it's just doing live, you don't get a chance to, fix or edit things. But you also don't get a chance to engage like this either. But thank you, God. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you. And great. Yep. Okay, Lisa and someone understand moderate. Okay, got you. And then, yep. Raining in Boulder, bring your gear. Boo. Because the weather's so nice here. I think we caught up with all the questions. Guys, this is long. It's 44 minutes. It's probably the longest video we've ever done. Didn't think it was going to go this long.
Certainly the longest video we've done on YouTube. We have videos this long in our school all the time.
Yes, our RV Success School. I don't know if any of you are members of that, but we've been asked, how long have you two been together? How did you meet? Very quick answer to that is we met on the dating website eHarmony in 2010. And we got married, within a year. So we're coming up for our 9-year anniversary being together, dating this summer. And we've been married for 8 years. 8 lovely, wonderful years.
Lovely.
So guys, we're going to wrap up now. I think we answered all of your questions, or most of them anyway. And no, we won't be at Convergence in Salida. No, we won't be there. But thank you all so much for joining us. We just putting the finishing touches on a blog post to go along with this. That'll have more information about our unplanning of our travels. I think in a nutshell, it was really fun and freeing to do that. And it was also a little bit more stressful on the work schedule. It was definitely a little harder to be productive with work, because we're on the move more often. And it was definitely more expensive than how we usually travel, staying in the Thousand Trust system or just boondockings. But it was something we wanted to do. We had a great experience. We got to enjoy our other camping memberships, which also saved us money. And it was a really good to do in a 40-foot motorhome. Bear in mind, it's not peak season that we're totally able to do it.
Yeah.
You're all saying good night. So thank you guys for joining us. And we'll see you. We'll try and organize another live soon. So thanks, guys. Take care. And now I've got to work out how to end it.
Maybe the 3 buttons.
I don't know. Is it? I think so. This will be funny. Hit thumbs up, guys. Is that what you were telling me to do? LMAO. Yes, I am too, because now I'm trying to... I had trouble getting it started. Now I'm having trouble ending it. So...
Maybe the X in the top right corner.
I don't know, guys. This is really hilarious.